In Heart Pairing Episode 12, Jimin's letter to Jeyeon was one of the most beautiful moments in this episode. It wasn't just about the content of the letter, which I'll quote shortly, but the way he whispered in her ear that it's over, when the contract relationships ended. That was so sweet. Then, he invited her to come to his room later. When she did, he handed her a postcard in the dark, and said he'd be too shy to give it to her the next day. That alone will make her heart skip a beat, ha ha ha. She slipped back to her room and read the note alone in the dark. That entire sequence was so tender. Here's a rough translation of the note. Jeyeon. It feels like not long ago that we awkwardly said hello for the first time. But now we're already at the end. At first, it felt unfamiliar and I was really nervous. But before I knew it, I was looking forward to dinner and fun times every day. I think being assigned the same seat helped us naturally become closer. Because of your consistent kindness and care, the house life wasn't tiring but rather became more comfortable. So, I think the time we spent together will remain in my memory for a long time. If we could spend even meaningful days like Christmas together. That would have been nice. But I'm worried whether there'll be another angel Unnie like you. Until now, I've had so much fun thanks to you. Thank you, Jeyeon. Let's continue to do well going forward, ending our time in the pairing house on a happy note. From Jimin. Those lines all hint at a deeper affection and much more. He's saying, you matter so much to me, and I'm afraid of losing that connection. Notice how he never actually says, I like you, or I love you. Instead, he leans into nostalgia stating, just yesterday. Then there's gratitude, stating, thanks to you, and a quiet longing for something more, like spending meaningful days like Christmas together. And yet, every sentence is soaked in feeling, regret about their impending goodbye, happiness for the memories they've made, and a subtle unease about what comes next. The Angel Unnie line hits especially hard. It implies that Jimin sees Jeyeon as irreplaceable, even though he is worried about the possibility that their connection might not last or could be replaced by someone new. Still, he feels a bond that goes beyond words. After Jeyeon read that postcard, she simply stared out the window, lost in thought. I doubt she feels conflicted. My guess is that part of what she's feeling is two things. Part of her is happy because she's confirmed how much he likes and cares about her, and the other part is nervous about what changes could happen to those feelings before the show ends. Will things stay the same? This note actually confirms Jimin's feelings towards her. It isn't a literal confession stating, I like you, but that meaning was strongly implied. Just like the first scene shown in this episode, which is one of the most important moments, if you ask me. The first scene showed us the first night of their contract pairings when they were all together. Jimin was talking about their plans for a party. He casually mentioned that during the final weekend, everyone would be busy with their love, then quickly corrected himself like, I mean, not love. But the word was already out there. Chanhyung jumped in like, you're talking about yourself, right? You said love. And Jimin, he just smiled and said, yeah, maybe. That was his unintentional confession in front of everyone, and you could tell Jeyeon was shook. Like, this man didn't use the word like, he said love. And that hit her hard. Her different reactions were priceless. She even threw her arms over her head at one point, after Jimin discovered Hanul had a cold, and got up to go fetch her some medicine. This kind of gesture is often instinctive, like something people do when they're overly excited, panicking, overwhelmed, or trying to calm themselves down. Within the scene, she's already caught off guard and clearly emotionally shaken by Jimin's word choice. And she didn't only do that, she made other facial expressions and body movements that immediately showed she was excited about his confession, but it also seemed like she was in a state of panic at the thought of him being interested in someone else. Days after that moment, he gave her the note. So imagine, if she had any doubts before, those doubts were gone after reading it. Her heart had to be fluttering like crazy. It's almost like now, the ball is in her court. However, the way this will end will depend on her actions and choices from now on. After watching this episode, I honestly don't see Jeyeon going back from Jimin. She's locked in. Period. But let's talk about everything else that went down, because a lot happened with Jimin in this episode. And judging from the teaser for episode 13, it looks like even more drama is on the way. But first, let me just say that guys, I'm not sure what happened to the editors of Heart Pairing, but episode 12 was indeed my best style of edits so far. Like, they weren't trying hard to confuse us, or create unnecessary drama. It was just like, real emotions, actual conflict, jealousy, vulnerability, all laid bare. It was like the editors said, screw it, let's show everything as they are. And I loved every second of it. Although, I would have loved to see more Woo-jae Ji-won lovey-dovey moments, but still, I get it, this episode seemed to be for addressing all the members with complicated emotions. There were a lot of interesting twists in this episode. One major twist was Jimin pairing up with Hanol. Even though I predicted it was 50-50 in my postcard prediction video, I still didn't expect him to actually choose her. And clearly, neither did Jeyeon. Her face said it all. This turn of events is what I have been waiting for. That moment when she looked really disappointed his letter wasn't for her really took her by surprise, ha ha ha. It was almost like a rude awakening that Jimin could really opt for someone else. Jimin told her his reason for choosing Hanol was because he was angry with her for not choosing his gift in Italy even though she knew it was his. But he did express in his interview that he regretted that move, especially after he went into her room on their final day and saw her getting out of bed. And the way he described it. He said it looked like a bed commercial, laughing my ass off. A bed commercial, Jimin. Really? Now you've got my mind in the gutter too, oh my goodness, ha ha ha. Anyway, her sad expression in that moment was also really striking. But, I'm not sure if her expression was the most interesting part of that moment or the fact that she knew Jimin chose Hanol before she even started her contract date with Sang-yoon. Check out their outfits, this was the same night he took her out on a date after baking cake for her from his office. My first thought after noticing this was oh, that's why she started opening up to Jimin about everything, so he doesn't misunderstand, get angry and start choosing other people lol. I'm thinking, this means that after she saw Jimin could actually switch up on her and choose someone else, that this could be why she began to take action, telling him about her breakfast date with Sang-yoon and her lunch date with Woo-jae. So yeah, even though she was in a contract relationship with Sang-yoon, she was clearly keeping tabs on Jimin the whole time. Honestly, I don't think anyone should have any doubts about her feelings for Jimin after this episode. I just hope Jimin hasn't already broken up with her over that chaotic confession to Sang-yoon from last episode lol. Just kidding guys. I believe if they chose each other in the end, they're still going strong at this point. But, even if she doesn't end up choosing Jimin in the finale, after watching this episode, I believe people will be fine with it since her feelings were emphasized a lot. Did you see her troubled expression after Jimin returned from his date with Hanul? Like, it was so sweet to watch. This was the drama I signed up for lol. This episode gave me everything I needed for real. There were other interesting moments in this episode. Woo-jae and Jeyeon, now chatting as friends, free of all the unnecessary tension they used to have, was so much fun to watch. Reminiscing on their feelings in Italy compared to Seoul was surprisingly interesting. But the most heartbreaking moment for me was Chonghwan and Ji-won's conversation. I still don't have the words for that, it was kind of bittersweet, so I'll save my reactions to that for the next video. Now let's talk about Chaeyoon. Suddenly getting all curious about Sang-yoon because he was quietly caring for her. That had me cracking up. I did not see that coming. But then she confessed to her twin that even though Sang-yoon is sweet, she's more focused on marriage and sees Chanhyung as the better fit, which is valid. Though Sang-yoon seems to be a really caring guy, the way he caters to the ladies is very cute and charming. I just wish that all those little caring details that Sang-yoon showed to her, I wish Chanhyung had done that instead though. I want him to really try for Jeyeon in this final week so things feel emotionally balanced. And can we talk about how cute her sister looks? They have the same mannerisms. And look like they're the same person, lol. Love the surprise. But wait, what if we get a new plot twist of Sangyoon falling for Jeyeon or Suah? Speaking of Suah, choosing to go on a date with Sangyoon instead of Jimin was another surprising twist. That was such a power move. As a sharp woman, she realized Jimin was gone for Jeyeon, hahaha, so she decided to utilize her free date ticket well and chose the handsome prince. She even described him as a pretty boy who looked prettier than her, laughing my ass off. I just love our catfish. She's so classy and bold, like, her eyes could read your soul. I also love how the show has diversity in looks, giving the men the chance to be attracted to different women and not necessarily getting fixated on one woman. There's balance, and it feels real. But will Suah stick with Sangyoon, or is she gonna make that move to Jimin like the teaser hinted? We'll talk about that in the next video. Did you guys also notice something cute about Jeyeon? Jimin telling Jeyeon he likes it when she packs up her hair, and then she actually does it, was iconic. Jeyeon, purposely showing her feelings, going to Jimin's room, hanging around each other with Sangyoon, even noticing how in love they are, was also interesting to watch. What did you think about Jeyeon's reaction to Jimin in episode 12? And what about Jeyeon showing interest in Sangyoon? Will they actually go on a date? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, please subscribe and like the video.